pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone. Elliot, we need a roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman, please answer here when I call your name for the roll. Alderman Louder.
Here.
Alderman Peters. Alderman Odenwald. Alderperson Reed.
Here.
Alderman Schmelzley.
Here.
Alderperson Welch.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Elliot, and we'll move on to B, approval of the minutes of our Board of Aldermen regular meeting of April the 11th, 2023. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Elliot, we'll move on to item C, sign permit 7517 Watson Road.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Board, in your packets, you have the application for a sign permit for Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. They are located in a C2 zone property, and our zoning ordinance requires board authorization for any sign permits in that development. This is for a temporary, now open sign that they hope will attract further business to this amazing deli spot that all of you should go to and buy a bunch of subs at. It's ready for board approval.
If you haven't been there yet, very good. All right, do I have a motion to approve that sign permit? Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Elliot, liquor license.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman, in your packets, you have an application for a temporary liquor license for the sale of all kinds of liquor by the drink. This is for their annual picnic to be held June 5th, 2023. Staff has reviewed and confirmed the application contains all required documentation and is ready for board approval.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Make that motion to approve.
Second. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we'll move on to ordinances for consideration. First, we have bill number 3082, Midwest Pool Aquatic Center Management Agreement. This is tonight is second reading and final passage. Chris, do you have anything you want to add to? Unless anybody has any questions.
Well, could you for me re-explain this is, oh no, this is the pool. Never mind.
Yes, this is the pool.
I'm on my way out. Just you have to bear with me. I'm doing senior skip day.
Did you want the vector abatement? Is that
No,
what-
no, no. I asked him to do the.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. The courts.
Oh, okay.
I'm paying attention, I swear.
3084.
I'm here.
We'll get back to you on the courts, okay?
I
All
know
right.
this would pool. I'm cool
Okay.
with. Don't worry about
Do I
it.
have a motion for second reading?
Motion for second reading of bill number 3082.
Do I have
Second.
A second. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Second reading of bill number 3082 by title only, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Midwest Pool Management of America Limited for the provision of pool management services.
Very good. I need a motion for final passage.
Motion for final passage
Do I have a
of bill
second?
number 3082. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. I jumped ahead of you. Do I have a
Second.
All right, any further discussion on that? All right, hearing none, we need a roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman, please answer aye or nay on the following roll call vote for bill 3082. Alderman Louder.
Aye.
Alderperson Reeves.
Aye.
Alderman Schmelzley.
Aye.
Alderperson Welch.
Aye.
Mayor, bill 3082 passes and is approved as ordinance 3063.
Very good, thank you. And now we'll move on to Bill 3083, St. Louis County Vector Abatement Services Agreement. And if you recall, last time, we decided to move it till tonight. We had it on for first reading. Tony had come in late on the meeting and was able to explain during his portion what it was all about. And so with that, Tony, is there anything you want to add?
I don't think so, not this time, but if there's any questions, I'll answer them.
Okay, well, first, let's entertain a motion for first reading.
I'll make that motion for the first reading of 3083.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
First reading of bill number 3083 by title only, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with St. Louis County, Missouri for vector control services.
Okay, move on to Bill 3084. SWT Design Court Amenity Needs Assessment Agreement. And I got a feeling that Elisa has a question on that. So,
I was just asking him to re-explain how we got here, please.
Absolutely. So what you're agreeing or what you're going to agree upon tonight is the approval for us to move forward with SWT. We have already applied for and received the grant. So at the last meeting, that's what you approved was for the mayor to enter an agreement with the municipal park grant committee. So this is just moving forward with SWT to do the work, which they are the ones that proposed the proposal for the grant committee. So we are moving forward with SWT and we will begin the process of putting together meetings and surveys and things of that nature too.
And this is for the sports
Sports
courts.
courts for the entire city. So
Thank you.
any other questions? Betty, you sponsored that bill?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we have second reading and for the bill 3084.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Second reading of bill number 3084 by title only, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with SWT Design Inc. for provision of master planning design services for the city's outdoor sports.
All right, now, Betty, I need a motion for final passage.
I so move for final passage of bill 3084.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Elliot, we need a roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderman, please answer aye or nay on the following roll call vote for Bill 3084. Alderman Louder. Aye. Alderperson Reed.
Aye.
Alderman Schmelzley.
Aye.
Alderperson Welch.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, that is a majority in favor, and Bill 3084 becomes ordinance 3064.
All right, and now finally we move on to bill number 3085, update to chapter 210, article 11, offenses concerning marijuana. And this will be a first reading, but I'm going to turn it over to Mike to explain how we change it.
Sure. The voters approved amendment to the Constitution regarding the legalization of the possession of marijuana. And this ordinance makes our code consistent with that state constitution amendment.
Very good. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to acknowledge that Alderman Louder has sponsored this bill. That wasn't previously done.
Yeah, thank you. And I was going to ask Greg to make a motion.
Make that motion for first reading of bill 3085.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
First reading of bill number 3085 by title only, an ordinance regulating marijuana cultivation, manufacturing, sales, use, and distribution, including penalty for violations by amending section 210.1800 of the Shrewsbury City Code and adding a new section 210.1805 of the Shrewsbury City Code.
Very good. Move on to item F, old business. Is there any old business to come before the board? Hearing none, we'll move on to item G. Is there any new business to come before the board?
I do have a question and it's, and I probably should have called you before the meeting to even if this would be the right place to discuss it, but I was quite surprised when I went on Facebook Shrewsbury, Missouri Community Group yesterday and found out the city is taking over the Shrewsbury Nights program.
If you want to address that, I mean,
it's first ever.
yeah, you know what? Barry?
Seriously.
I saw that as well, and I
Okay.
didn't realize it.
And the dates had been moved to Thursday nights.
Have you seen that post?
Somebody had wishful thinking then, I guess.
It was, I
Okay.
believe it was Caitlin that.
Yeah, that responded.
that
Could it be
responded
that
to that.
Shrewsbury Knights are taking over a Webster Knights or?
Somebody was telling me they changed it to Thursday from Friday nights, but the city was taking over the food. That's what.
But I'm
I
glad you
think we
brought.
need to find out, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything going on in Shrewsbury, a community event sponsored at all, like a Thursday night, Shrewsbury night, anything?
Well, we do have some, we'll have some events later this summer, like in June and July, but that has nothing to do with the nights.
Do we mean Knights of Columbus or Shrewsbury Nights with food trucks and music?
Shrewsbury.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the Knights of Columbus. No, yes, so that is it.
Okay.
Why didn't we know about it before reading it on Facebook? That's my concern.
Well, we actually
Last
were
year.
in charge of that last year. We worked with Caitlin last year.
I thought she was in charge of it.
She did
Okay.
the year before on her own, and then last
Okay,
year
I'm
she
sorry.
worked with us.
My bad.
So-
But it was a surprise to see it out there.
Yeah, no, she's actually the one that reached out to us this last year and said she would be willing to be a part of it, but could not run them anymore because she's had a
Yeah.
child, so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant the Knights of Columbus, which had not heard anything
Oh,
about.
well, no, I would have.
When you said Knights, that threw me off.
I
So,
mean.
But no,
Well, now that you,
Presbyterian, I
now
don't know
that,
nights.
now that we're all on the same page as to what we're talking about, can you enlighten us as to what we're doing this year?
yeah, so several years ago during COVID, Caitlin started the food truck events in our parks. Last year, she asked the city to go in with her to help with the events, which we did. And then after last summer, she decided that she wanted to take an even smaller role. So we are now putting those on. Which is not costing the city very much.
Yeah, they're moving to Thursdays instead of Fridays. Have Thursdays instead of Fridays, just out of curiosity.
It's Fridays were never really convenient for the city because we have softball and other things going on Fridays. So Thursday was just that's a better option for us.
And will it be the same format as we've experienced in the past? Only the only difference is the night change.
And they're starting in June?
I think the first one's in June. I don't have the first sure.
June 22nd and July 27th
Yeah,
is what.
And there'll be less.
That's what was on Facebook.
There'll be less. on it.
Exciting.
Instead of being 6, there's only.
I
With an N, not a K.
Like I said, I'm Presbyterian. What the-
A medieval theme, and then you could do a K.
Okay, I have,
Yeah, medieval times.
I love it. Hey, I'm here for it.
There we
A
go.
Renaissance theme.
All right, well, at least we got to the bottom of it, and I
Right.
thank you for bringing that up. So we're all on the same page with that.
Well,
no,
yeah, like,
what?
but yeah. I didn't know that was.
Well, we don't
an
have
issue
Knights of Columbus
with us
in
doing that.
Shrewsbury anymore. It used to
And
be
I
on
had
my
forgotten
right.
that you guys had helped out last year because she was a new mom.
Well, we'll get it together here. All right, is there any other new business to come before?
One thing, I don't know if we can do anything about it. I've noticed a lot as I come home from work, the off ramp, 44 coming into Shrewsbury. And this is all over and it's just not a Shrewsbury thing, but the number of people that are on the side asking for money and that off ramp tends to have a lot of people there over the days. The amount of trash that is piling up there, I don't even know if that's our property in that area.
Coming off of eastbound 44, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
That might be county and not us, but it's, it's for some people that come into Shrewsbury and they see Shrewsbury, it's home on the big brick
Uh-huh.
sign, but then they also see these massive piles of trash there.
The southbound side of that is Webster.
Okay,
The off ramp itself is the state's,
got it,
and the northbound side of Lapley is ours.
got it, okay.
And as far as the people at the corners, I know we've had this discussion before.
Right.
It's been a couple of years.
Right.
They have a right now to be there for.
Absolutely, I knew they had the right,
Um,
more with the trash, like today there
The trash,
was
I understand. So unless somebody wants to
heaping
put a
pile of
a
it.
trash can up there and
Right.
have somebody that wants to empty it, the only thing we're gonna be able to do is what they did. I know John Odenwald got the group together to do the exit ramp off of
Right.
westbound. If they wanna do something like that, maybe they can either get a hold of Webster and see if they have a group, or if we
Okay.
wanna put two groups together to do that
Sure.
intersection every once in a while. We'd be happy to help with, traffic control, because that's gonna be a dangerous place to do it.
Absolutely, we thought like came up for the scouts to do it. I was like, no, I don't want
No, we don't.
noise right
no,
at that
no
intersection.
gates at
Right,
that
right.
intersection.
We
no.
put them on the on-ramp and that was fine. But right there, I said, I didn't know if it was ours to manage that. It's just, it's really unsightly. Like today,
I
there was
agree.
a massive pile. It's like, that's just.
Yeah, I totally agree. Every time I come off there and it's frustrating, but the people we can't move, the trash, we can try to. St. Louis County and the state are responsible. It's actually a county road or state road they're
Right.
complete, so we can contact them and see if they can clean it up more often, but chances are they're gonna say it's on a schedule and they'll get to it when they get to it.
It's the same at 44 in Limburg when I'm
Right.
getting off there.
I was gonna say major intersections right now.
It's bad all over.
bad All over.
Typically,
Not that
they're
it
not
makes it
gonna put
right,
a
but-
garbage can out, but maybe it's worth the ask to
Right.
see if they can put one somewhere there that they can throw their trash into and we can take some pictures. I'll try to get a couple pictures over the course of the next couple weeks and see what we can do with that.
Got it. Like I said, I didn't know if it was our property or.
Worst
not.
they could do is say no.
Contact MoDOT.
Sure.
See if they'll do that.
Right.
But like you said, we may not get the answer we want, but we can sure try.
But if not, we'll come up with something else. We'll
Yeah.
clean it or we'll do whatever
Yeah.
we can.
We have to get the citizen group
Yeah.
to police it a little more often to help. So, all right,
All right,
that's what I had.
any other new business to come before the board? Hearing none. Elliot, do we have any citizens that would like to come before the board?
Mr. Mayor, as usual, we invite anybody in person who would like to address the board at this time. I don't see any takers, so we'll move on to those who joined us on Zoom. If you would like to address the board at this time, give me some indication that you would like to do so. Mr. Mayor, nobody is excited to speak to the board right now.
Ah. All right, well, that must mean we're doing our job, right? Hey, I hope. All right. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a second? Second. All in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.